Hey everyone! So it's Lynn here with Littlefoot Nursery and wishing you guys a happy Disney Monday. I'm filming this in advance. I haven't been like really in much of a video making mood this week. And I don't want to be like a downer today, but it's just, I keep thinking about obviously the horrible tragedy in Las Vegas with the shooting. And today I was at work and, reading, there's an article just talking about the victims who died from the shooting and, their names, their ages, some things that their family said about them. And I just cried, guys. I just felt so sad. And so it was literally a week ago that I heard the news, like so many of you, and I thought about hopping on and doing a video on the day of, but it just felt like hard to find the right words to say, and I just felt so numb hearing about what happened. And I really truly appreciated watching all the videos this past week and reading your nice comments. Doll collecting, feels so small and kind of unimportant in the grand scheme of things in a lot of ways, but just kind of a reminder that, we should just really appreciate every day that we are given on this earth and really just try to love as much as we can, hug our loved ones, and don't take anything for granted. And so I'm just truly, truly grateful for just, the fact that, I'm just to be alive and just to be here to even be able to make this video and talk to you guys. And so anyway, well, I'm here with Baby Maddie, and she is the Angel Sculpt by Bonnie Sieben. She was actually reborn by Melissa George, as many of you guys know, and she's a newborn size baby. And I actually had ordered a few cloth diapers, so Maddie finally got her own cloth diaper. So you guys will get to see her. This one is the little Joey cloth diaper, so it's really cute. I'll go ahead and she's got the snaps on the back. And I'm going to dress her up for Disney Monday. And I'm going to also chat a little bit on a topic that, I'm so sorry, I forgot who it was who commented on this on one of my videos, but was just asking me about the durability of air dry paints versus Genesis paints. And she was just sharing that she had a few dolls that, they're all Genesis paint. They're all painted with Genesis, and she's had them for a number of years, and she has noticed that the paint, is wearing off. So for me, I have not had that experience happen. Probably mainly because I'm pretty. I don't play with my babies a ton. In terms of like really handling them a lot. I might hold one occasionally while I'm watching TV or something like that, but or like if I'm taking them out or something. Oh, by the way, this is a little Minnie Mouse dress, in case you guys couldn't tell. And shoot, I think there are actually like little ears that go with this outfit. I have no idea where they are though, so my apologies, you guys. This is a little bit of a partial, it's just a cute polka dot dress, I guess, without the ears, but anyway, I haven't really had that experience happen with my dolls, just because I am, pretty gentle with them. But I do think that, from what I have heard, some fading of the paint is to be expected over time. I think it depends on how the paint is sealed too and how well it's sealed. But she had commented specifically that she had babies painted with Genesis who had the matte varnish, and over time she noticed that sandpapery matte varnish feeling kind of went away. So yeah, I don't I guess have any experience with that, so it's hard for me to comment. But I think it is something that we should be aware that obviously these are collectibles, and they're meant to be handled very gently. However, at the same time, I think we should all feel free to enjoy these babies too. But just know that probably some paint, rubbing off or fading over time. That's to be expected. And there's precautions you can take, like, don't expose your baby to sunlight for at all if you can help it. And if they are exposed, really try to limit it. And treat them like a real baby. Like when my kids were babies, I didn't let them out in the sun without, well, obviously these are dolls, you were not going to put sunscreen on them, but I always had sunscreen on them. They would wear like little hats when they were babies. Oh, Clara looks really cute in this. I like this on her. Yeah, I haven't had her in a lot of pink. I never thought of her as like a pinky girl, but she actually looks really, really cute in this. So I would just say, don't expose your baby to too much sunlight. I would also just be careful about how much like rubbing you're doing. And I know, and especially I think where you can start to see the wear would be like on the hands. You also want to be careful about dark things that can transfer dye onto your baby, like newspaper print or like denim, for example. If you're wearing jeans, I'd be super careful about putting baby on your lap. This is why a lot of times, my reborns will have like their own like little muslin blankets. So, and my silicones definitely each do. My reborns, I am less fussy about like having to have them on a muslin blanket, but I basically try to minimize the contact of the baby with things that could potentially dye the vinyl for some, or silicone. So that's just kind of what I do. But guys, I just got back into collecting like 9 months ago. So, and before that, the babies that I did have for many years, and I didn't notice any fading or anything like that of the paint. They looked just the day that I got them, but they were also handled extremely rarely. They were wrapped up in blankets. They were in a Moses basket in the closet. So I really didn't handle them very much at all. And I noticed that the condition that they totally stayed in mint condition. And as I look at the babies in my nursery, and including the ones that I've painted, I would say everybody is in pretty much mint condition. I haven't noticed really anyone, kind of needing maintenance. But I think that if your baby does start to fade, the paints do start to fade and whatnot, you can, have an artist kind of do some touch-up painting for you, and then maybe touch-up sealing. And that's one thing I really do like about the air dry paints, is that you can paint, you're not having to worry about baking. So if the baby already has like the hair root and stuff like that, and you needed to do a little bit of touch-ups, you would. I think you just might want to, kind of be careful about, okay, if it's another artist's work, and if, like you decide to touch it up, you might affect the value of the baby. Like it might be better to send it back to the original artist and have them touch it up, just so the painting style remains consistent. But that'd be the only thing I would just kind of consider. But if it's a baby that you bought for not too much money on eBay, and you want to try your hand, and it's not an artist that's super well known where it's going to really affect the value all that much, I think you could, if you paint babies yourself, you might as well just do it yourself. One of my dolly friends had actually contacted me recently because she had a Cheyenne who was one of the first reborns that she had bought, and baby was actually painted pretty cute, but was a bald baby. And she also wasn't sure if she was like really stuffed properly, and she didn't like love the way she was stuffed. So she asked me about whether I could potentially, paint some hair on her, maybe and then kind of seal her, reseal her, re-weight her. She didn't really like the matte varnish, so those are all things I definitely could have done. But then she was asking about whether and then she kind of mentioned she intended to try to sell the baby, and then so then we were just kind of emailing back and forth, because I was totally willing to do it for her, and I did do some research. And if the baby's painted with Genesis, it is okay to paint, I believe, air dry paints over it. But one of the ladies did tell me that you need to wash the part that you're going to paint with some Dawn soap, just to take off the oils, because I guess the Genesis heat set paints are oil-based paints versus the acrylic paints are very different, and they don't mix. And so you need to kind of like wash off the oils. and all of that before you paint on it. So all that made me sound, that made me feel very nervous, because I'd be worried about somehow washing the paint off, but even though I don't think that would happen, but it's just something I would be cautious of. So I guess it is possible to paint over Genesis if you have to, just as a heads up. But anyway, she had, I guess, bought this baby for a really inexpensive price, I think around $150 on eBay. And she was, you know, planning to maybe resell her with the hair and with the reweighting. And I just kind of let her know, I was like, you know, I think given the price point that you bought this baby at, and given that you want to sell her, I would probably just try to resell her on eBay and try to resell her as is, just because $150 is such a low price, like, you know, to factor in my painting services for the hair and restuffing, reweighting, and then plus the shipping and stuff. I mean, you're probably gonna be spending like $120, $130 for my service to do all of that. And I just don't know that that would be worth it at the end. Like, in terms of, if you add that price to the price that you put in to the baby, you have to get an even higher price to really make it worth it. So my advice to her was to not have me do any work on the baby, and for her to just plan to resell the baby as is. Maybe try to sell it on Dolphin so she doesn't have to worry about the fees of eBay. And if that doesn't work, because I know the Dolphin collectors tend to be, you know, used to probably more higher end babies, you know, she could just sell it back on eBay and, you know, probably recoup all, if not most, of her money back. So anyway, that's just kind of my thought process. Like, if you get a baby and it's not exactly ideal, probably better just to resell it. Unless you feel like with some fixes, the baby would be one that you would want to keep. Then it might be worth investing a little bit more money in it. But hopefully the baby arrives and it's what you expect. So anyway, I don't know how I got on this like whole topic, but that's what always happens with my chat videos. Anyway, it's been it's nice to just hop on and talk to you guys. I make my videos in advance, and I just hadn't made videos for a number of days, and I just felt really sad and depressed by what happened, you know, with the shooting. It makes me so sad, and I was so sad to see there were actually quite a few Californians who, you know, were victims in the whole incident, and just kind of reading these names, even though I don't know any of them personally, like, I just felt like they could easily be my friend or neighbor or myself or a relative or a loved one, and that all these people are a loved one to somebody. So I would just encourage all of us to just keep those families of the victims, you know, in our prayers. You know, and I also reached out to a lot of the contacts and people that I know in Vegas, mostly through work, when I've gone on work trips, and just kind of checked in. It seems like everyone that I know personally is okay, but everyone's been super shaken up by the incident. So it hits really close to home, you know, anyhow. So, all right, guys. Well, happy Disney Monday. Oh, and let me go ahead and I'm going to grab Miss Clara and put her here next to Maddie so you guys can see these two girls. I love putting these two girls together. I don't know why. They're always like a pair in my book. Oh, and they're so cute together in their little Disney dresses. Let me see if I can grab the video off the stand and show you guys. Hold on. Hopefully this... Okay, let me try to... Yeah, oh, and I forgot to also mention that, so Melissa and I have been exchanging emails. She is working on a custom for me, and he's coming along, so I'm so excited because I don't have very many boys in the nursery. And she was actually so kind to make me a little, you know, kind of 3-second intro video for Littlefoot Nursery, and she's just sharing how much she like enjoys my videos, which is so cool, because I think I forget like how many people are actually watching my videos, because I'm kind of just filming this in the privacy of my own home and in my room, like, you know, by myself usually. So I'm just sort of talking to myself for 15-20 minutes usually, and I just kind of forget that, you know, these videos are watched by a lot of people, and so it's like, oh, that's so cool. But it's so sweet that Melissa has been kind of following my channel and kind of following the babies that she's painted for me. She shared that she might be making like a little video montage of think of the like different photos she took of them. So that would be so sweet. So if she does end up doing that video and sending it to me, I will upload that for all of you guys. And she also has a blog too. So I'll post the link for that. She just started this blog like a month or two ago, and she has a lot of good information on there. So definitely encourage you guys to check it out. And thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I just want to show you these two cutie pies in their Disney outfits, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Take care.